Hi everyone. In this video, you're going to learn how to make a pencil in Onshape. So as you can see here, this is somewhat what the pencil should look like. So the overarching features that we're going to be using here is the extrusion tool and the loft tool, and that's it. So what we're going to do first is we're going to create a document. So how you're going to do that is you're going to come to the top left corner, click on create, and choose document. I'm going to label mine pencil because that's what I'm creating. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a sketch on the right plane. So I'm going to go to the right view with my cube over here. And then I'm going to click on the right plane and choose sketch. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a hexagon. So I'm going to go to the polygon tool and I'm going to create an inscribed polygon. I'm going to choose the center and I'm going to create a hexagon as best as possible with the vertical constraint applied. I'm going to click and I'm going to make a hexagon. So I'm going to make sure that the side count is 6. So this is what you want your hexagon to look like. Then what you're going to do is you're going to dimension it by going to the dimension tool right here. You're going to select the inner circle and dimension it to 6 millimeters. Okay, so as you can see here, mine went massive, huge. So the reason for that is because my units are not correct. So how I'm going to change my units is I'm going to go to the 3 horizontal lines, and then I'm going to go to workspace units, and I'm going to change the default unit length to millimeter. Then after I've made all my changes, I'm going to select the green check button. So then I can right click, edit my sketch, and see how it says that my length is 6 meters. I want mine to be 6 millimeters. I'm gonna click enter and I'm gonna zoom back in. Another way you can do it instead of just zooming in on your trackpad is by coming to this cube again and coming to the smaller gray cube and selecting isometric and then clicking the right plane. Then you can find a point, and zoom in. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're going to finish this sketch so we can extrude it. How we're gonna extrude it now is we're going to go to the extrusion tool here, and then you're going to select sketch 1 in your features tab. The reason you're not going to select it over here is because sometimes you may select the wrong thing. So selecting sketch in your features tab is one of the best ways to go. I'm going to make my extrusion symmetric, which means that from this point, the extrusion is going to happen from the middle. So the distance from this piece will be the same distance from the other piece. So if I make it symmetric, then see how it moves to the center. Half, it will extrude as a cross section per se. So I'm going to make my extrusion 190 millimeters, or actually, no, that's too big. I'm gonna make it 100 millimeters. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click my green check button, and then this is my pencil body. But right now, I don't know that it's my pencil body. This is just a 3D shape, but I may get confused as it, and I may confuse it with something else. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over to my parts feature tab, my parts tab. I'm going to click on it, right click, and click on rename. And I'm going to rename it, pencil body, because it is the body of the pencil. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to create the cone of the pencil. I'm going to first go into the front view, or actually, no, I'm going to remain in isometric. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom into the one side of the hexagonal face. I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to come to this plane tool over here and click on plane. This is going to take you to the offset plane. If it doesn't take you there, then you can go to it manually by going to this. You can go to this plane tool and go to plane, and you go there. Oops. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the offset distance 5 millimeters. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to loft a plane. I'm going to loft this into a shape. So actually, I think I might reduce the length to 3 millimeters. And I'm going to check my green check button. Then I'm going to go to plane 1 and create a sketch. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in, and I'm going to create a circle. So this is going to be the wooden part that's shown when you sharpen the pencil, right? So I'm going to select it and make it about 3.5 millimeters. I'm going to dimension it to 3.5 millimeters. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish the sketch so I can loft this. I'm going to zoom in a bit. Then I'm going to go to my loft tool over here, and I'm going to select the surface of the extrusion. So see how it says face of extrude 1? And then I'm going to select the circle that I drew on my offset plane. So the loft should look something like this. I'm going to click the green check button. But I realized that this loft added it to the original pencil that we created. And since the color of one part can only be one color, I want this piece to be a wood color, but it's not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my loft 1, right click, and click on edit. Then see how it says add? That means that it's adding on to an existing part, but that's not what we want to do. We want to assign it a new material and a new color. So we're going to create a new part. So and then after that, we're just going to click on the new tab in the solid tab. Then we're going to click the green check button, and we have a new part. How you can ensure that is in 2 ways. One is that they should be different colors. However, sometimes the Onshape has to share colors. So the best way to check is to come to the parts tab and to check if there was a new part generated. In my case, it says part 2. So what we're going to do is we're going to rename that to wood sharpened. So how I'm going to do that is I'm going to right click, rename, and wooden sharp or sharpen wood. There we go. So now what we're going to do is we're going to create the lead. So how we're going to do that is by first hiding plane 1, because plane 1 seems kind of annoying to the eye. So I'm just going to hide it by hovering over plane 1 and looking at the eye symbol. When I click on it, it's going to hide it. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the circle face, and I'm going to offset another plane. This time I'm going to make it 4 millimeters. So now what I'm going to do is, since I want a point, I'm going to make a point on plane 2. So I'm going to click on plane 2, make a new sketch, and then I'm going to go to the right plane, zoom in, and then go to the point tool, select the origin because that's exactly in the center and that's where I want my point to be. And then I'm going to click the green check button to confirm my sketch. Then I'm going to go back into isometric, go to my loft tool, zoom in, select the circle surface, then the point to get this pointed area, get this point. But then what I'm going to do is I want this lead to be a different color than the remainder of the pencil. So I'm going to make it a new part. So see how it's a different color? And I've created a new part. So I can click the green check button and voila, I've created a majority of my pencil. But our classic pencil isn't a pencil until we have an eraser. So what we're going to do is first we're going to rename part 3 and we're going to name it eraser. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go to the other side. So we're going to go to the left view. And then we're going to zoom in. What we're going to do is we're going to create an eraser. So we're going to create both the metal part and the eraser part. So how we're going to do that is we're going to select this plane and create a sketch. And then what we're going to do is we're going to make a circle from the center, just intersecting the hexagon. So we shouldn't see it overflow, or you can do it in one of two ways actually. You can make it just overflow, intersect the corners, or just make it very, just intersect the hexagon. I prefer to make sure that it intersects the corners because it looks a little bit more normal like a pencil. But this way has also worked previously for me. So I cannot give you any precise measurements, but however, I can suggest that you can make it around 5.9 millimeters. So let's just do it this way. We can adjust it and I'll show you how to adjust it. But what we're going to do is we're going to finish the sketch. And then what we're going to do is, we're going to extrude it. So how we're going to extrude it is we're going to select the plane, click extrude, and we're going to make the dimension just 4 millimeters. I click the check button and go into isometric. But when I look at my parts, I realized that it became a surface extrusion. Now that only happens when I didn't select the entire part. So, or the entire sketch. I only selected the outline of the sketch. So that's not what I want. I'm gonna go to my extrude and right click and click on edit. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to solid and selecting sketch 4. So that way it is a new part. And since it's in the new tab, you can click edit, enter. Now this is just the metal rim and that seems a bit too thick. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click Control and click edit. And I'm going to go to depth and make it just 2 millimeters. There we go. And I also realized that it seems from the side, it seems a bit unproportional. So I'm going to go to my sketch and I'm going to click edit. And I'm going to make the dimension of my circle a bit small, a bit larger actually, so that it seems a little bit more realistic. So let's zoom in and make the dimension maybe around 6. That still seems to show some overlap. So what we're going to do is we're going to make it 6.5 to just get rid of a little bit of overlap. See how that looks. From the side, it's not as visible. So, and since these are two different shapes, it's a bit harder to get it precisely. But this seems enough and I'm happy with the result, but you can try to get it more precise if you'd like. I just realized that I labeled the lead of the pencil the eraser, which is incorrect. So I'm going to rename it to lead. Then I'm going to rename part 4 to eraser metal. Finally, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create my eraser. So how I'm going to do that is I'm going to go to the same view, go to my left view, and click on sketch. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in. select my eraser metal. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a new circle sketch with the center, aligning it exactly with the same dimension. So I'm going to click on dimension, choose 6. Oops, that seems a bit. Yeah, we made it 6.5, I forgot. Okay, there we go. So now that we have it exact, what we're gonna do is we're gonna click on extrude and extrude it. And we're going to make it around 4 millimeters. Or actually, an eraser isn't 4 millimeters, it's only like 2 or 3. So we're gonna make it 2.5. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna go into isometric, look at the preview. Looks pretty good. I'm going to click my check button. And I realize again, I haven't made it a new part. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click on my extrude 3 and make it a new extrusion and click edit, enter, sorry. Then we're gonna rename part 5 to actual eraser. So eraser. Now the only thing that is left for this pencil is it doesn't look like your classic yellow pencil. I don't know how to pronounce the brand of the company, so we're just gonna go with classic yellow pencil. So how you're gonna make it into that exact color is you're gonna go to these parts and right click and click edit appearance. I'm going to make it that classic yellow color. So my pencil body, I'm gonna make it yellow, bright yellow. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to create the sharpened wood. I'm going to click edit appearance. I'm gonna make it a nice tan color. So maybe this color, that works, right? Shading. Then what we're gonna do is we're going to make this color, the lead color, black, obviously. Actually, we're gonna make it a metallic. No, we're just gonna stick to black. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna come to the eraser metal, click edit, and click on edit appearance. We're gonna make it a shiny gray. I don't know why there was emphasis on shiny, but we're gonna go with it. Then we're gonna make the eraser the classic pink. I can't actually find the color of the classic pink. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to go to mixer. I'm gonna try to get the color as close as possible. I think, nah, that's a bit too dark. This is the classic color of the eraser. So we're going to actually make it a bit darker. Yep, this seems right. And we're gonna go select it and voila. I'm gonna make my eraser a bit longer actually. I'm gonna make it maybe around 3 millimeters because I make a lot of mistakes, as you see. So this is how your pencil looks. Now we're going to take it just one step further by assigning actual materials to this pencil. What we're going to do is we're going to assign the pencil body and sharpened wood one material. So let's see what materials are pencils made of. Please don't judge my search history. My friend uses it, so that was her. Okay, what materials are what wood is the better question. What wood are pencils made of? Cedar wood. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're going to select both pencil body, go to assign material, and you're gonna let that load. Then we're going to go to search material, go to cedar wood. Feel like that's the correct one. That's not, we're not looking, okay. Cedar. Okay, since this is the closest wood we can get, we're gonna go with it. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to lead. It's made out of graphite, so we're gonna go to sharpen wood as well, actually. Go to oops, not appearance. Edit, assign material. And we're gonna click cedar wood. Then we're gonna go to lead, assign material, and since it's made out of graphite, I'm gonna go to graphite. Yep, there we go. Finally, what is the eraser metal made out of? Metal. It's made out of aluminum. So we're gonna go to eraser metal, click assign material, and go to aluminum. Then we're gonna go to the eraser, and I know erasers are made out of rubber. So we're gonna go to assign material, go to rubber. You know what? We're gonna search up what erasers are made of. What are erasers made of? Okay, synthetic rubber or vinyl. No, okay. Okay, I can't even spell right. Ha, okay, vinyl. Nope. Rubber. Close enough. Silicone rubber. There we go. There is your finished pencil. And that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. And I hope you come back to my channel. Bye.